What's up, everyone? We want to thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of Mission Mindset. You guys already know us. We're your hosts, Quan Grant.
And Marisol Credo.
Yeah, but today we have a special guest, Miss Adriane Jefferson.
Hi,
from
what's
Connecticut
up?
Offices of the Arts.
Hey. Thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Really, really excited to be here.
Our pleasure, seriously.
So Adrian, she does a lot at the Connecticut Offices of the Art. She has a really great role where she's helping connect a lot of creatives in the state of Connecticut. So we just want you to talk a little more about your role there, any barriers that you had.
Oh gosh, no. So I do a lot. So my title is Arts Program Associate and Special Programs Coordinator. So in a nutshell, like in short, I'm an arts program manager for the state.
Yes.
What we do is we're funders. That's kind of like how we're most known because we funnel out money.
Nice.
So people know that we, have grant programs that help to support artists and arts organizations across the state. But we also do a lot of professional development, which is like the world I live in, like professional development that really helps to cultivate the artist and cultivate the organization or the creative business.
Yeah.
So we do that, and we have networking opportunities, and we're conveners, right? So we match make, and we make sure that the connection is made so people can make things happen. But yeah, we're responsible for supporting the infrastructure of arts across the state of Connecticut, which is a big job. Definitely a big job.
That is a huge job.
It
It's huge, and I think, but I love it, right? I think every day I have to come ready.
Yeah.
There's never a day that I don't have to be on.
Right.
But I'm excited to do this type of work.
Yeah. That's awesome.
How long have you been?
2 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so 2 years. So I'm still fairly new in the role. But I feel like it's been a significant 2 years of change in the office and growth for myself.
Yeah.
So it's been great. I'm actually the first, I believe I'm the first African-American
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
arts program manager ever for
That's
the state
what's
of
up.
Connecticut.
That's what's up. What would you say are some of your biggest accomplishments?
In the role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're going to be here all day.
Oh,
Y'all
we
going to be
wanna
like,
hear it.
why did I bring her on? She won't stop talking. There's so many. So I've been able to roll out new programs. So the thing is, so obviously I came in and I had to inherit certain new programs. I mean, certain programs that were already designed.
Yeah.
And, with that, there's always a lack of feeling like it's your own. But I was very fortunate to be able to create programs that I really feel are creating change. So like the Arts Workforce Initiative program is an internship program that's designed for paid interns across the state who get placed in jobs, all types of jobs, media arts, you have graphic design, which is part of media arts, or performing arts, every aspect really of, in every discipline of arts.
Wow.
And they get paid fairly a lot of money, I think, for an internship, $15 an hour for 25 hours a week for a 10-week program.
That's awesome.
And that program is something that draws in our millennial age group. And we look at it through this lens of diversity. So we have something in our office called READY, which stands for Relevance, Equity, Access, Diversity, and Inclusion. And we do everything through that lens, which allowed me to create this like really awesome like workforce program that's actually becoming a model across the state.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one program. I told y'all
that's just
there's
one
one
program.
check. So that was awesome. The other program, so I've been able to. Professional development was something that was given to me as my boss was like, I want you to create something, young professional network or something for young urban creatives, And I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally with it. That's my lane. So I've been able to use professional development in a totally different direction than I believe we've ever seen in the state literally in a government level. It's really awesome. I mean, we're looking at, because what I realized when I came is I didn't see a reflection in the state of myself. I didn't connect to anything truly that was going on. And I just wanted to know, where is the place if we say we serve, everyone? Where is the right? So where is that community? And that demographic is the perfect word. And so I really wanted to cultivate something that drew in that crowd. And when we look at it, everybody wants to be in the entertainment industry nowadays.
Definitely.
And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. So how do we educate on that and then also bring awareness to other types of careers that you can be in? I think creating that kind of program has been pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Word. So those are a lot of accomplishments. But talk about the barriers.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know there's a role to story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think getting people to understand. So when you're trying to activate something that's different, you're constantly fighting for that position, right? To how you position it, for that messaging. I think we're doing something that's different, even with branding, how we're marketing certain things, and it's not conventional, and it's not traditional, and it's not conservative. And so I feel like that's a challenge right there, because when you think of government, I'm pretty sure you don't think of, oh, this gonna be popping, this gonna be great, I'm gonna be there today. Like no one really, not from our kind of demographic, really thinks that. So I feel like that, just getting people to understand why this is important, why this is significant, why this is connected, why it's necessary. We always say the term, arts is not just nice, it's necessary.
It's necessary,
right? That's another barrier. I think just in a state, people who are not arts lovers or people who are not involved as a creative, they don't even understand the impact of our office. Why do you need it? But economically, we actually bring back a lot of money into the state.
And I'm glad that you're here, because a lot of people never heard of the Connecticut Office of the Arts.
No, so the Connecticut Office of the Arts is under the Department of Economic and Community Development, which is an agency in state government. So
it'd be hard.
So that's the Office of the Arts. We're in Hartford.
So I know you do so much there in your role, and how you created so many platforms and connected so many people. I kind of want to hear more of your story. Like, where did you come from? Like, where did this all start for you? This little flame that just kind of grew.
So it's so multi-layered, right? It's definitely multifaceted. And so it started a long time ago when I was, I would say really as a creative, when I first found out that I could even because I'm a writer. And when I first found out that I was a writer, I was in middle school. I went to a school called the Interdistrict School for Arts and Communications. And I was a founding student of that school.
Wow.
And so it was it really was awesome.
Starting way back then.
It was set up.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like honestly, God designs our life. And, he does. And now as I'm older and I look back, I see how that path was already being aligned when I was younger. But so really it started for me at 13. But how I really got intensely into the arts was there was this group called the organization called the Writers Block, which I'm a founding member of the Writers Block now. But then it wasn't anything. It was just a group of kids from New London that a mentor took under their wing and said, you guys are poets, you guys are writers, you guys are hip hop artists. How do I help to cultivate this? And that is something that literally changed my life.
Wow.
Had that not happened, I probably wouldn't have went to college. Because I was definitely, I was smart in all of that. It's not like I wasn't.
She was like, don't think I was
No,
dumb.
I was I was a good kid, but I got sidetracked. There was a lot that happened in my life on a personal note that made me just, our environment is who we become. My environment was very so much who I was becoming. And I was in high school, not really going to school, skipping classes, hanging out and doing that type of stuff. And at that point, I don't think people really thought. They were like, what happened to Adrian? She's just not on the right track. This program, because of the use of the arts, was able to bring me back in. And because of that, I ended up going to college. I went to Florida Memorial University for my undergrad in Miami. And that's really where my career blossomed.
Awesome.
Nice.
We love that.
The arts is a lifesaver.
That's what we're talking about. It's necessary.
It is.
It's
necessary. It saves
necessary.
lives and careers. And
So how did you get from your university to the role you're in now?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to make it quick. So I went to, so that was undergrad, right? And because of that opportunity, I kind of transitioned into heavy into entertainment. My first job at 18 was working for the Mike Sherman show in Miami, which was a show. So Mike Sherman, he's still around. Hey, Mike Sherman. So he's awesome. He interviews like celebrities and tells their story, but then also gives platform for the local talent. And that's the first time I was ever involved on that level of understanding community and local talent. And I got to work for that network and that show and for a while. First job at 18. So since then I was like really hooked for behind the scenes. I was already a performer, but I was like, this is the world that I really want to live in. And then from there, I honestly got more and more opportunities. I was able to create and establish myself in college. I did an event called Rhyme Fest. And Rhyme Fest was awesome. Again, we're in Miami, so we're like where our school is located is in the hood, right? So you have access to the community for real.
Right.
And so we provided a platform for hip hop artists to come out and tell their story through theater. So they're rapping in these like hip hop opera type formats. It was amazing, and it really was. I miss my Rhyme Fest people, like I do. So we created a family, and something that people believed in, because I do think that there's a stigma when it comes to hip hop, and I think that people don't always understand, especially people who are not from the culture, right? They don't always understand, and I think we need to highlight it in a positive way, talk about the history of it. So that's what we were able to do through that event, which then gave me more connection. So every opportunity leads to another opportunity. Without getting you guys in everything I've done, it's been quite a lot, which then allowed me to come back to Connecticut to be the creative director for the writer's block. That helped birth me as an artist, really.
And that's what I want to get into. Like, how did you get from Miami to Connecticut? What was that process like?
Oh my gosh, I was actually in grad school at the time, so I went to SCAD, which is in Georgia, but it was an online program. The program I took, so I was studying arts administration. And then I got pregnant. So I have my daughter. I have a daughter, and I was pregnant, but I was in a career. I was like an admissions counselor at that time and doing career placement, but I really wasn't happy because that's not what I knew that I was supposed to be doing. It really wasn't. And so when you start to have a child and you're pregnant, you're like, what's next for me now? And now I really have to make sure that this makes sense because I have a little one to take care of.
Responsibility.
So I just got connected back with the writer's block, and I had the opportunity to kind of snowbird where, I was spending summers in Connecticut and coming back to Florida. And then I cultivated that relationship again as a creative director and ended up full-time as their executive director for the writer's block.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Were there any challenges for you having a child? Did that, do you ever feel like, okay, my dream is at a standstill?
I never felt like my dream was over. It gave me more motivation to be better. Honestly, it did. I know it sounds very cliche, like we always say that, right? But it's true. She changed my life in such a positive way. I was better because of my daughter. The minute that I found out I was pregnant, what I will say is I was shocked, and because I was so business oriented, and people knew me like as that. They were like, "Are you happy that you're pregnant?" I was like, "I think."
Expecting you to be sad.
Yeah, they really were. They were like,
"She's so driven. What were you thinking?
What's gonna?" Because that's the thing. I think that people think that it's over. That's their perception. So
the perception of the world.
No, I was happy.
Especially women in entertainment industry and business or anything like that. They always feel like if you have children or get married, or like, what are you doing? You're sacrificing your career.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you don't have a career now because you have children to take care of.
So true. And like your life is over, but you can definitely have a life after you have a child.
Yeah.
You can definitely have a full-blown career.
Absolutely. I think someone definitely needs to hear that.
Yes.
I want to get into why is the arts so important to you? You kind of touched on it, but like what draws you to that?
It's important for many different reasons. I mean, on a personal level, I am it saved my life.
Yeah.
Literally. I think, even just it being a saving grace for me just through writing and being able to express that. I think if we don't have outlets like that, we are gonna go crazy. And so I think for me, that's why personally it's important. And I'm just a lover of it. I've always been that. But I think on a broader level, there's nothing better than arts to pull people together.
So true.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's it. Like, there's no discrimination there. It shouldn't be, right? It's that connector.
And it's like that universal language, what I mean? That I feel like
everyone can connect to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on the flip side, like, what keeps Adrian motivated? Like, what's your source of motivation? Like, how does Adrian stay in alignment with herself and the woosahs? And
I
working
try.
with so many different people and personalities so many projects.
Yeah.
Like,
that
how
is
do
a
you
good
stay
question. I'm
sane?
glad you asked that question because it's important we take care of ourselves. And I think we had this conversation, self-care and love. And I think knowing when to step away and take time to shut down. I've started to actually shut down my phone. After a certain time, I'm turning it off. I'm not putting it on do not disturb because you can still see. You still get distracted. I want it off. I need time to think and reflect and read and write and just kind of be in my own head for a while, pray and meditate. And I'm not perfect by any means. It's not. It doesn't always work for me. Sometimes those moments are very quiet and very, very like too quiet almost. But I think it's important to try to do it because you have to recharge yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
You're nothing for anybody else. You can't be something for anybody else if you can't recharge.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We talk about that all the time. I'm
Yeah.
glad you touched on that.
It's true.
We have our own little routines, our own personal routines that we do.
Yeah.
Y'all meditate?
Well, yeah, we pray, we meditate, we read, we watch sermons all the time.
I need to join y'all.
Seriously.
Listen to motivational speakers.
I don't like doing it by myself all the time.
I was trying to do like a weekly group where people get on a phone call and we just encourage each other like constantly.
Have you started that already?
Yeah, I've done it for a couple of years.
You gotta invite me. Okay.
I'm gonna invite you now. I'm gonna restart it.
That's awesome.
I have a fun question for you. If you could have one passion project or a dream come true, what would it be?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I have so many dreams. That's a good one. You know what? This is what I want. The only thing I really want to happen is to be able to have a house that's off the water, like on the beach in Vermont somewhere, maybe. If there's beaches in Vermont, I don't even know if there's beaches in Vermont, but I want to be in Vermont and I want to be off the water. So maybe a lake in Vermont, something like that, just by the water, like nice, cozy log kind of cabin house.
Like
it's weird.
I might show up,
but I want to, it's like, to me, that is like ideal. And that's a small dream, but it's definitely something that I want at the end of the day.
That's
awesome.
Peace. That's a peaceful dream.
Absolutely. But what about a passion project? What would that be? I know you got so many.
So what do I want to bring into fruition?
Yes.
Oh
that
my gosh.
I know this.
Like if you had all the funding that you needed for it,
I
all
have
the
a
right
lot of
people to
stuff.
help you, like what would it be?
There's so many different things, but honestly, the biggest thing is I want to create a foundation. The foundation that I want to create is actually to support pop culture, and it's fun pop culture, because I think I have this lens now, this kind of entertainment experience, and then also this lens as an arts administrator, which I think is very unique. A lot of people don't have those two two connections. And for me, I want to take what I know from both worlds and be able to support the next generation who's trying to do things for our culture, and make sure that they have grant opportunities and scholarship opportunities, and professional development, just continuing with that, and being able to have them display themselves in a very positive light. So that's the end goal. You know, there's a lot in the mix, but the end goal is that. And I want people to give me money to do it eventually. You know.
That's a good passion project.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's really like, I always think about like, what's the why? Like there should always be a why in something. Like you shouldn't just be doing it to do it. Sometimes the motivator is money. Sometimes the motivator is like whatever. For me, it's like the end goal, right? I do have a lot of stuff in between that's like that, but the end goal is like this catalyst of change. So that's kind of what I want to do.
And that's more fulfilling when you have that kind of motivation to do something.
But we're all here for my belief is we're all here for that, right? To impact others, that human connection, and to be able to hold others up and give a platform for change.
And that's, I think, what it's about. And that's what we're trying to create with Mission Mindset. And I love your heart behind everything that you do. I feel like so many people get into things for like selfish reasons. You know what I mean? Like they want the money, they want the fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the fact that you want to give back and help people
it's so empty, like vain and
and well, I love what you guys are doing. I really do.
I have a question. What are your future plans or passion projects, and how would they be accessible to young creatives?
Oh, okay. Well, that actually ties in, right? So so it's kind of this idea of this foundation, and how it ties in is because it's going to be for them. It's going to be 100% for them. I mean, I think sometimes you have to be intentional with drawing a lane, right? For specific groups of people, it won't necessarily be open to everyone. You know, it's really for this group, because there's a lack of that kind of support and there's a need for it. So definitely that. I hope that answered your question.
No problem. That's really good.
I almost forgot the question. I was like, what? Okay.
No, that was good.
Okay.
And what else is there that you would want to like talk about as far as like your role at the Connecticut Arts and what other people should know about it and how they can get involved?
I want people to first know there is a Connecticut Office of the Arts, and that it's for everyone. I feel like if you are a creative, whether you are an artist, a creative business, or a nonprofit organization, you can apply for funding through our office. You can come to us for resources. That's the main thing. I know that people are always looking, even if we don't have what you need and what you're looking for, we can probably connect you most likely to something that is going to be the right connection for you. So it's free. This is government. It's tax dollars that's paying for us to have this agency. This is government. Okay. It is free. We're not asking, we don't want anything but to help and to support. And honestly, I think people need to understand in this role, we are public servants. That's what we do. We are serving you. So just let us know how we can help and know that we're here and the doors are open.
Awesome.
Well, we love your story.
We
and
do.
Just, you know, like I know if we had more time to dive in more with your story, I think it would be like awesome. But you're like a beautiful ray of light.
You are.
Seriously. And
Thank you.
do
See,
a lot
I don't
of
even
great
know how to
things.
take a compliment. I'm like, thank you.
Just receive it.
I appreciate
we
it.
appreciate you so much for all the things that you're building in the state of Connecticut. I was so impressed with the music conference, the Ready Music Conference here.
I was glad you came to that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this was like a random thing I didn't even know. And I found out and I was like, wow, this is great.
Well, it just happened last year. So this is last summer, the first one. And this is kind of an example of some of those things we've been able to shift and change. Like, you know, get funding for a music conference. You know, it doesn't sound traditional. It's not traditional. It's not. We're taking everything that I think, and it's professional development. We're taking these concepts of pop culture and saying, okay, how do we do professional development in a way that's new, innovative, and fresh? And then that's kind of what we got. And I think it's amazing because you just never know who you're going to meet and what is going to happen. Because I met her just like in passing. She was attending the conference and a mutual friend.
And now we're
like,
here.
and here we are. So I just think, you know, it's great. And the energy is good and God is guiding our steps.
Exactly.
And I love that because when you have a made up mind that you want to do something and you want to connect with people and you kind of secure with who you are, you know what I mean? You know your purpose. I feel like you kind of attract like-minded people. You know what I mean?
I think so. It's like what you guys were saying before we, started. Just positive affirmation, put it out there.
Put it out there.
You give back what you give out. You know, I truly believe that. I got one more question.
The last
question.
Ask.
Why am I nervous?
No, you shouldn't be. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, man. You know, I think I would definitely give... I made so many mistakes when I was young. You know, I think I would tell my younger self that it's okay to make mistakes. And that you don't have to be perfect. And also that you don't have to fit in everyone's ideals and perception of what you're supposed to be. Because I think for so many years, growing up as a young brown girl, I had a lot of self-doubt and I didn't always think that I could. Right. And so I think that just not being so hard on myself and understanding that we're not perfect and we need to be open to being different and being unique and embracing ourselves. It's okay.
It's okay to be different.
It's okay. Because I was definitely different and weird. I'm still weird now, okay? But I was definitely different and weird. But, you know, and I would tell now that I'm here, right? I'm in this moment. I'm seeing really just the tipping point, not even the tipping point of where I can go. It's like that. None of that even matters, right? Just be yourself and be 100% who you are. Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to end this interview. Thank you so much for joining us as a special guest. And we will see you guys next week. Is there any last words you'd like to say?
How can people connect with you or some websites or something? Because I know people are going to be like,
I
need to find her.
The best way, I know.
All the writers and musicians.
Well, listen, I think, first of all, because our website, we're working on our website at the Office of the Arts right now. We're actually redesigning. So I'm not going to see anybody to our website. But if you Google the Connecticut Office of the Arts, you can find us. Definitely on my Instagram, which is Adriane V. Jefferson. That's my Instagram. And I finally got one. I didn't have one for a long time. And now I have an Instagram. So yes, you can find me there.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.